See, Ireland doesn't have a lot going for them, resources. One resource they do have is the sea. It's our gold mine, like it's our, and we should look after that, be hook or be crook, for ourselves first and foremost.
Quite handy yokes now, aren't they?
The roller? Awesome job, mate. Mighty job.
How come up with that idea?
I don't know who it was, hey? Some swag fucker, isn't it?
It can be a beautiful life, and it can be a tough life in the winter time. You know, especially if you lose a few friends here and there, like, you know. So that's the tough thing about it. But it's always a dangerous life, any time of the day, like, you know, even in the summertime. Because once you're out there, nobody gives a damn. You know, you have a day's wages to make and a day's living to make, and that's what it's about, like, you know. So. Honest to God, if you're with the right crew, especially the crew we had, you're looking forward to going at time, because once you get into the van in the morning at 6 o'clock, there was a comedy routine from then till you got back home, because there's that much banter between everybody, like, you know, and around here everybody's got a good sense of humour anyway, a wicked sense of humour, so you have to, and you have to be witty. It's not an easy day's work, it's a real brutal day's work. If you watch the Deadly Catches, it's harder than that. They've got a big boat, and they only show the bad nights, you know, and the stuff. It's well edited. But if you're out there, it's hard work from crab fishing anyway, from 6 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the evening. There's non-stop. you imagine trying to walk fast on the land where you've got steady feet, or if you're out there on a real bad day, where you're working hard and lifting hard, plus you're getting through down on your knees at times, you know, when you fire it over and something falls on top of you, you know. And that's what it really is on a real bad day, like, you know. There's things falling all over the place and you're lifting heavy weights all the time, you know.
That's about it. Slide with it. Just tied up short, it's too long in here.
Fishing is like gambling, isn't it?
It is gambling, it is gambling. You're always on the edge, like, you know, it is gambling. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, gambling.
Putting a tenner on a horse.
Yeah, you're gambling. There's days you go out there and you wouldn't come back with £5 in your pocket, like, you know, and maybe in debt, maybe a couple of hundred in debt.
Yeah.
You know, it's exactly the same as gambling. And other days you go out there and come back a couple of thousand, like, you know, so.
Years ago you wouldn't see many. Now they're fucking deep in the boat. You know the old box as well, you get an odd sheet. Very odd. She's a market for them at a minute. They have to be 800 grams, nearly a kilo. That fella might just be on the side. Pound a kilo. Or kilo.
That's what they catch in the deadliest catch shops.
Aye, some kind of like a king crab or paleo carp. Velvet, good enough market for them boys.
Is it?
The size we be getting there now. Yeah. They be kind of quite quick.
It's just a proper gamble. You invest thousands and thousands of pounds into your thing, and then you take a chance to see does it work. You know, and sometimes, but you're still going to do it. You know, all these fishermen from around here that were born on the thing, they wouldn't do anything else. If they never made a penny, they just wouldn't do anything else.
That's called mock caviar.
I mean, if your head's down and you're miserable, the day's going to be an awful long day, like, you know, because they work's that hard, and there's always a bit of banter. You know, yeah, just make one mistake, you see that they get all good stuff, all good banter. Like, you know, the boat we had was just 4 comedians, you know. So, but that's great, like, you know, it just takes your mind off the job.
And nearly ready for hatching as well, like.
Nice and tasty, man.
I don't need them ones, no.
Wait. What do you mean, don't you see them all?
Aye, on the pure black, maybe, but. Hey, Leonard, Mark!
There used to be a lot of money in it. Not so much now, like, but there definitely used to be a lot of worthwhile going to fish, like, you know. But as I say, something that's in your bones and your body, and young lads still do it, like, you know. when you get back to the harbour as well, that's when the rail work starts at the harbour. No stacking everything and getting everything going and running, and you know.
Being sure you're going to get paid for it.
And then you get paid for it.
Send them off the way there today. Meer aan fit dan. Nou, Max, daar. Wat dan? Aan de ene hand gooien. Kapot, ja. Put your hand.
Issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 05:05 on Friday the 16th December. There are warnings of gales in Thames, Dover, Wight, Portland, Plymouth, Irish Sea, Shannon, Rockall, Faroes and South East Iceland. The general synopsis at midnight. Portland 978, expected northeast Germany 962 by midnight tonight. Low Malin 984, moving east, losing its identity by same time. Irish Sea. Northwest 5 to 7, increasing gale 8 at times, occasionally severe gale 9 in Fastnet, squally showers, good, occasionally poor.
What year my mum died?
2000.
2001 there it was. Just it was the same year, 2000, only it was the Christmas, 2000 was just 3 days before Christmas. And it was just flat out, fishing fast. And just hit a rock, be mistaken. Down she went, but we're...
what was the Garviles, was it?
Just inside the Garviles, just out 10 minutes from the pier. And complete darkness, you wouldn't even see, you made it way out the lights like, but we got lucky, another boat was coming shortly afterwards, and we were all, nobody was really panicking, but we knew we were going to sink anyway, part of that, but we got ourselves together somehow and just jumped out of the boat, just got in the last 9 seconds, the last the boat got us, like, you know, so 4 of us. But there were 28 fishermen, not people, fishermen drowned that year. I don't think it's ever happened before that or after. 28 fishermen. So that's how simple it is to die, like, you know. We were lucky, we were one of the lucky, we were 4 very lucky fellas, like, you know, should not be here. That's the way life, sometimes life's good to you, like, you know.
You have a very short life, working lifespan on a boat, because you know the health and safety aspect of it is one thing, and they do try to make them as safe as possible. But it's still a heavy job, and it does take its toll on you in years to come. But I would not be a fisherman. Maybe it'd be better to talk to a fisherman. You know, he would tell you a lot more about it. So, but I know what they go through, and I know the way that they come in here and into the pub and restaurant, and they're tired. They're tired and they're sore. No, we've turned the Seaview into, I suppose we've kind of morphed from a pub, from a very much a drinking pub to a restaurant that serves drink rather than a pub that serves food. And recently just acquired, the judge granted us the only fisherman's license in Donegal. So we can stay open, in theory, 23 hours a day for fishermen only that make a living from the sea, not for angling or not for tourism. Our chef now is Roland Houston, and Roland's been a great asset to the business. He was the head chef in the House of Commons during Margaret Thatcher's time for 5 years in the Press Gallery, and then he was the head chef in Stormont Parliament for 2 years, and he was executive chef over all the chefs in Johnny Fox's, the highest pub in Ireland, in the Dublin Mountains, in the Republic of Ireland at least. And they would do somewhere in the region of 1,000 meals a day, and he was in charge of the whole kitchen.
Yeah, as I say, once they come to the boil, it takes 15 minutes sort of for them to
I have the water boiling before I put them in, but once you put them in, it cools down quite rapidly.
He's very pernickety about his ingredients, and he's very pernickety about his food, and he personally supervises every meal that goes out. We go down to the pier and get it for you and take it up. So if you want a lobster, you can't have one today. We have to. You'll get it tomorrow because we have to wait till the fishermen come in. And that's. I think that has stood to us, our freshness. You know, it's really enhanced our business. The other side of that, of course, is then you see if somebody asks for something more exotic that isn't caught locally, well, we can't guarantee how long it's been out of the water. You know, so that's a little bit more difficult. You know, we have to be very careful there. So we try to limit the menu to locally grown catch produce.
So basically, take the toes out. Up. Okay, we put all the toes in there. And this is the brine meat, which I use for making the crab bisque. This part of the body I send back to my fisherman. He uses that then for the bait, for the whelks. There is meat in the legs here, but it's too time consuming. And then we hit that wasn't supposed to happen. I have a girl coming in now at 12:30, and her job will be doing this. And there's meat in there.
Because we're such a rural area, we don't buy boxes of fish. We buy, you know, maybe 10 pound or 5 pound of fish, and when it's gone, we go on to the next one. So we keep everything moving fresh all the time.
In Dublin and that there, you'd pay a lot more for the crabs, but we're dealing direct with the co-op, and we're more or less getting them at the right price. So, but it's as I say, now I have about 3-4 hours work processing all this, so keep you out of mischief for the day.
Alright, can I get you something else, or is that everything? That's everything for now, thank you.
Some of the best fishermen in the country are probably from this area, from Mallinhead and Glengad. And generally the northwest coast of Inishowen and Donegal. They're all good fishermen. You know, they had to, because the land was so poor. They had very little alternative. There's no factories up here. Dublin doesn't send people up here. You know, that would be the general consensus of opinion, that they don't share the wealth at all. Donegal is the forgotten county, and Inishowen is the forgotten part of Donegal. So they had a very little, they had to make do with what they had. One of the fishermen, Dennis Glacken, used to always say, I've got the biggest farm in the world. It's right out there. And it's true. And that's where they made their living. That's how they made it pay. So.